top-rated player, and the odds are so incredibly stacked against that ever happening. But let's let Counter-Strike speak. We've got Falcons and Team Spirit locking horns here on Anubis. Somebody's got to give a map loss to Spirit, surely. Can it be the Falcons, who have shown us improvement over their last two series? Will all of them be able to come together yet again to contest the donk?
A dragon versus a falcon. That's very cool. I mean, I feel like I would pick the dragon, obviously.
9.5 times out of 10.
But maybe we could give the falcon some spells to balance it out.
Okay, sure.
For the sake of the superhero battle.
Execution into the site. We've got Magix playing Pillar.
Oh.
Two clean ones from Magix, who, to be honest, has kind of been getting outrated by everybody. There have been very negative maps for Magix across this series.
Because Donk is always willing to peek choke points, it actually makes up for the utility problem of that side of the map. You don't have to keep main smoke the entire time. Donk is willing to check on the fight over and over again, and that's what really opens up the map, honestly. So it's the best way to play if your player's on point, and Donk is so consistently on point that he can continuously do this. But if you're going to have Magix also having a fantastic day, and in this round we have Donk getting no kills and him getting 2, then that only raises the fear.
Zontic's playing the counter flash. Smoke soon to expire. So he'll crawl it back alongside Sh1ro on the A1S.
They're a little low on impact grenades. We've got Zontix with 1 HE. This could actually be pivotal as they come forward.
9's in a good spot. Some damage. Oof, Sh1ro dead to the MAC-10. Oh.
They just don't have that like superstar level of even Sh1ro. Honestly, Zone even better than Sh1ro on the roster. But they do have a very high average level.
I think we see that in the pre-game graphics where we have to find someone to do a head-to-head with Donk, and the best selection was Madden.
Yeah.
You know, no offense to Madden.
Madden's having a great. It's just his team, honestly, are well behind.
Yeah. This is a Falcons project that ended up without a star. But stars aren't the only way to win CS. Once more, Zontix will slide forward on the A site. Once more, Falcons will sit outside of it with numbers and wait. And there's no pressure out middle. Snappy actually in a very comfortable position within window. And that gap in mid last round as well kind of kept Sh1ro's head on a swivel. This time there's actually somebody occupying the space, and we'll see if Snappy comes down into sight to try and get the split going. CTs rotate one over as Zontix dies empty-handed again. Front-facing MP9, not enough, and Snappy bests the rotate in Donk. So we have Magix and Sh1ro 2 versus 3. A late rotate around from middle catches Snappy off guard. Didn't think he'd get flanked. But that's just a FOMIS for Sh1ro and a question as to whether they really want to try to force this commitment into sight. You know now Falcons have the better weapons, the deep positioning. But with Magix being locked into heaven since the start of all this, they're going to try their hand, and it's not.
Criticizing his mentality, it sort of feels like a cheap shot, but at the same time, it's so important because now he's a championship winning roster. But he's an amazing player who was really nervous, and I think the question for him is if he can get his mentality right. I mean, his limit is incredibly high as well. Oh, okay, nice spray down, Magix.
Team Spirit can chalk it up to the hiccup and the misread of round 2. Use this next buy to get through. Heavy limitation in some of the players' utility. At a pretty quick pace from Falcons, targeting this B site for the first time since the pistol. And yeah, the pace of it, finding Donk off guard. Luckily for him, he's got Chopper, but Chopper now finds himself alone. Frag grenade's not going to do all too much, and he's hanging on. Back turn, great cover from Dupree. Sunpius could have been dead. Lo and behold, folks,
wow,
Donk just got outpaced.
Yeah, that was, he got caught off guard on a big timing there, not covered. 0 and 4 now, and the site gets taken over. This is an amazing start here for Falcons. I mean, they did such a good job of scaling after their kill, too. It could have been a situation where they took too long, and then the rest of the players on Spirit got organized, but they jumped on that opportunity and we're all ready to do it in an organized way.
Just dupree's cover, too, making sure Sunpius doesn't get swept out.
Yeah. I think they can still sort of mentally write that one off just because you can say, okay, well, next time I won't get caught off by the MAC-10 rushing into dark. But now it's Falcons with a 4-1 lead where CT rounds, you know, they're hard to come by on Anubis. You really want them. And I think historically, the only time Spirit really struggled is when they don't have the... Actually, just fine for them. So another chance. Let's see if Donk gets mad.
Sh1ro moves that op down too, right?
Oh.
Counter pick is there.
Oh my god.
Okay.
And the major and everything. Yeah, this is definitely going to be up there already, I think.
Round 7 and still without one. Talk about the limited buy with Chopper on an MP9 last round. Well, now we've got 3 SMGs in the middle here for Team Spirit. Some extra cash kept for Sh1ro as he gets the op back. Seen Spirit pry for information on long A. We've seen the op pick down dark go south just last round. So Chopper's gonna have to keep this game flowing and the decision's fluid. But if this smoke gets popped, you'd think Zontix is in a prime place to die here. Nades go beyond the smoke. Spam still connects, but he is standing for however much longer is the question. Aggression out from the other side. Wonderful hold from dupreeh. Sits Chopper on his ass and denies Donk a kill. No trade from Donk.
All right, that's one I want to watch back from Donk's POV. He has a good gun in that spot. The refrag he doesn't get.
Sh1ro's got one too, though. Power in the pocket. A threat from middle, though, coming down from camera. Now Sh1ro's compromised. Unsure of which way to look. Falcons seeming certain of which way to go. Back to the other site into only Magics. Playing on pillar. They're coming for him. He catches the back player turn, but it's not enough. And these SMGs, regardless of whose hands they're in, have not been able to stop anything. Zontix A main, Magics in sight. Barring Chopper's 1 kill last round, these lesser weapons aren't getting the better of Falcons. Team Spirit are simply not getting the better of Falcons.
No, not at all. Yeah, and now there are no excuses. You know, there's 2 players here, Donk and Zontix, on opposite sides of the map, have yet to get a kill. And their trades have been so important. And I mean, Donk, it's one thing when he doesn't get an entry or 2K entry. When he doesn't get a refrag, that's a worrying sign. That's when it's really like, okay, what's going on? But that's also to say that the Falcons players, their aim has looked great today. And dupreeh looks as good as he did yesterday.
And as his team still wins a map. 0 kills, 7 rounds down.
Oh, and for Falcons to be able to be the team to do that, to give Spirit a bad day, to give Donk a bad day, the amount of confidence that they'll be able to win off of that, even if they are only able to take Anubis, for example. That would already be incredible for them. Donk down low. Chopper, the sort of, I was going to say carry of the team so far, has a lot of ADR. He's out of the round. Some of the aggression. It looked like Chopper was going for a timing push. Got called out.
Zontix also looking for his first of the map. And it could be Snappy, who's primed here alone on doors. AWP to support Zontix, who has crossed around, uncovered, catching him with the nade.
That's
so
a nice move.
There's Zontix's first frag. We get all of the Falcons now grouping themselves outside of the B site, and they won't have that Snappy mid control to kind of hinge off of.
Here's the one, if they die through a smoke or lose one of these 2 players, then another round gets lost.
Magic's also opping. Double op setup with a full-blown execute coming into the bomb site. This could just completely nullify Magic's. You'd think he's going to have to set up Donk by trying to take a peek on long, but Donk goes down empty-handed again. And then Magix is hoping to recover. One connects, teammate rotates in, and with Magix holding the double op, it looks like Spirit have put an end to this dry spell. Sunpius turned away at 15 seconds, but that is a site that's not held by Donk. It's Magix who recovers the slack.
They shouldn't even look for this frag, honestly. They need the Thrift 3 alive. They need money if they want to make any kind of CT side. And yes, this one comes down to Magix.
Well done from Magix. Lowest rated player for Spirit with some actually rough maps despite wins. In the absence of their star.
Seen a few weird things, you know. Sh1ro walking into dark with his op late. No pressure on the stairs, no double nade, no flash for him to swing out and getting killed. And finally, they stop the first death on A main, but what a refrag
nice.
out of Snappy.
Good deep nade, Magix. That op still riling up Spirit's B defense. And Donk will slip forward off this, hoping for an extra bit of contact, but with nobody to kill, at least he's got total control of long. And as we get Falcons rotating back into B, it's this pressure out from Dark that's going to have to go perfectly.
But you see that Magix is using this angle on the right side of default. That's opened up to him because of Donk's push. So this is very scary for Falcons, a strong place to play from.
Sunpius, once the smoke fades, could perhaps counterpick him.
Oh, he's going to let that go. They're going to walk through, but Donk comes back.
Boom, there it is. Number 1. 8 rounds with no kills out of Donk. Finally posts his first. The dry spell's over, as it was with Zontix on the other half of the map, which led them into that previous round win. It is better late than never.
Yes, and this is the other players on the team buying them time to get back into it. 2 players left alive here on the A site, ready. Chopper in front with a weaker gun, but the perfect defense here. A rook on the file, a shot in for Sunpius, and an instant trade from Chopper to deny one. But now it's paid off. Starting to yield interest.
Shortcomings for Falcons for the first time. Oh, never mind. Madden just late to grab it.
Once again.
Gonna try to test this Magix op. He lands the shot on Snappy, who's still running in, and it's Chopper to post a multi-frag. Dark's occupied by Donk, so Snappy will not find refuge as he sprinted across the site in hopes of staying alive. And Falcons trying to keep it simple with the all-in B from long.
Yeah, another prescient call
not going to happen.
From Chopper to have 3 in the site.
Yep.
Support the rifler. It's a little flimsy when you just have the op and the op gets flashed and it comes down to 1 guy. So, but it's not like Snappy makes a bad call. You don't really know. It's a gamble. Start of the round. No information. Who's going to stack where? That's the flash. Madden surviving it all. While his teammate, Sunpius, is over in Spain.
"40-second siesta for him to keep hanging on to it.
Yeah, it's a bit tenuous. They might start to like look for player saving, but this is a pretty good spot to be in. Actually, Donk right around the corner. 3, 2, 1, and he's dead. But 4 alive is more than enough. 10 rounds deep, 4 rounds up for Spirit.
And notably, these 2 back-to-back off the double op setup. That MAC-10 creating space, causing ruckus, getting Spirit off kilter because of it. Dupree has been very hot on jumping into those opportunities with no fear, and we'll see if that has to come from Sunpius this time. Down into the rivers. Dangerous game to play with Donk inside the dark room, but
he's also looking for something tricky here. Sunpius didn't take a shot on that smoke. Doesn't want to reveal where he is on the map yet.
That was a feisty Sunpius this round. Yet to pull the trigger. Utility pressure, and Dark's going to have Donk have to forfeit some. We'll see if Falcons think maybe pouncing the A site yet again and just getting the wool over Sh1ro's eyes would be better than trying to take it back at Magic's. There has been this 3-player setup from Spirit inside B. It's in position again.
Look at the low information on middle. They're just spotting it from camera.
Much like the start of the half for Spirit, this mid gap has been open wide.
But the Falcons are not lurking into it, so it's actually good. For Spirit CT side right now. Late nades coming down spells disaster for Falcons. They want to get through this. Bad flash, easy shot for Sh1ro.
And not too concerned about one player attempting to run in. Donk gonna stay on high alert, but Sunpius is coming at him. Off of the nade usage, Donk tries to turn back, and Sunpius pins him against the wall. Now it falls to Magic's yet once more. dupreeh comes through dry, Sunpius hits another shot, but Magic's king of the op at the moment won't be able to clip that third. Into the platform they push, where Zontix is able to come out at Temple, and we have Team Spirit seemingly holding off. Madden wants a piece. Those clutches.
You are going to get desperate because some of these rounds have been very low telegraph plays to try to get somebody off guard. And, of course, you want to do what works. But at the same time, if you don't get that good flash, even when you have to move fast, then you are going to end up paying for it eventually versus a team like Spirit. What's scarier, that Spirit are losing or that they staged a comeback without Donk?
I think the latter, as far as Falcons are concerned. One final attempt to break through. Good heaven smoke to block off, but they didn't clear deep. And from Fishtail, Zontix connects with a double kill. dupreeh's trade solid. He will falter as the late attempt in from Falcons will be able to trade. Madden's inside of the bomb site looking for the 1v3. Back-to-back clutch attempts, but a daunting task. He's going to take the camera swing, and Donk's going to take his head off.
Sort of take the nameplates away and say who's favored after 6 rounds on each side. Spirit gets to start off on T side, which I'm sure they're going to be very excited for.
Yeah, and then add in that 5 rounds straight of momentum as well. Little unquantifiable X factor. Donk.
The refrag entry on Dark. This should be quite a simple decision.
Collection of SMGs that could definitely do some damage if they get a hit on sight, but no way you're going to contend with Donk and Dark. Get 2 players stacked up A main. This would be the weak point. This would be one of the MAC-10s. Zontix about to peek into 2 players ready for this. And he at least gets Magic's up close. It's a situation that could have just been Zontix dead.
But it's like, yeah, why did he just walk in by himself? That's would be such a simple idea to try to flash in that position.
Magic's trying to find timing, and he will do exactly that. dupreeh on a silver platter. Madden stuck behind Obelisk, and Spirit knocking on the door of this B site with the 2-2 split. Good timing on the MP9 peak. Looking for a follow-up, but Magic's has cover from jail. Sends a stream of bullets through, and that hailstorm puts man advantage forward for Spirit. Smoke as well to make the rotates in all the more difficult. And that is Falcons to concede. So, you know, maybe leaving a little to be desired in some of the decision-making still, as Team Spirit do still mount a comeback, but one that could certainly be cleaner.
Because they could have had a 2-player setup where one's anti-flash, but if you throw a pop flash into an anti-flash setup, it's still better than peeking into 2 players. You have a chance that they both are blind if they're not, and if in the other case, you're probably going to get one again.
And with that kill, the hopes of Falcons MP9 Force falter.
I guess they heard the smoke behind them too, though.
Yeah. Glock on Chopper.
It's literally just a Glock.
Just a Glock.
Every nade, head armor, Glock. Scary world out there. Good luck.
Dropping his belt of util in middle. That third player from Falcons who was stacked inside of A comes back towards mid because of the audio. Remember that duel's just the Glock. Donk, no double kill as Madden's 5-7 swings out, gets his hands on an AK. Now suddenly that B site's got a threat within it. Sh1ro holds off on the fast bridge drop, and Zontix doing his own thing on A again to keep the numbers thin for Falcons. Beauty of a dig to the shoulder. An easy pushover was Zontix, and with smoke to deny Madden an ability to see the cross, he would have to gamble with the spray or get frisky and push right through this.
Yeah, quite a deep spot. I think it's still full on the, yeah, it's still full on his side. So it was offhanded, but perfectly.
Sh1ro's just holding it from the plat, and this may just be an invitation to go save that AK-47, forfeiting a 9th round for Team Spirit, and notably, 8 of them in a row.
That first half had me curious about what, you know, New could offer, because again, they've shown some good game plans, at least between yesterday and it looks like now. They might need to be able to pick up Anubis.
Falcons opting to go lighter on A site out of the start of the spawn. We saw how fast they dropped into water last round too, so with bridge control, trying to nip at the heels of Spirit when they make their moves. The chain of smoke grenades will just cool off the start of the round. Snappy's going to try to play behind this. Him versus Chopper is an interesting fight. They are both not shying away from using that util and reminding their opponents of their presence. Donk opens up. Somebody goes peeking into dark, and it costs them.
Yeah, one tag on Madden too, so that's a little info.
Dupree tries to get it rolling with Falcons. They don't seem content to sit in their sights. Donk wins his second duel, and that is him single-handedly dismantling this B site where there are no other defenders. Snappy again tries to get active here, trying to follow forward with Team Spirit's dark push as they tried last round, but again, the site falls before they can do anything about it, and Falcons have to just lick their wounds.
Yeah.
This is double digits from Spirit, undeniably.
And Donk's still not looking really crispy today, but it did get both frags at the end, so just definitely Madden to stuff him a couple of times earlier on in this game. There will be no retake attempt. It'll be a wait to fight against double digits now. This Falcons lead feels like it was so long ago.
Oh. Donk has not had a negative kill-death spread on LAN since the defeat of MOUZ at the Copenhagen RMR.
Okay, did you like D-line right for that matchup just to check?
Yes. So certainly recovering some of the scoreline with that double dark entry last round. But we cannot kid ourselves and sit here and say he is the star of the show today. Not yet. Saw Falcons try to make the last move in the previous round by putting Dupree on the peak in dark. Now Sun Pius boosted just temporarily.
I think they're already nervous about getting spammed. And, I mean, yeah, Chopper's still holding for any kind of flank so they can take their time with this, really work it with proper utility. HE's coming out. Oh!
Tough spot.
Those will hurt. Not enough, though.
Down to a fifth of his HP. Sun Pius, missed shot. That should spell disaster for MOUZ. Sure enough, Sh1ro finds Sun Pius as he's back sight with the headshot on the op. Man advantage, A site crumbles, and the camera pressure won't hold anybody back. Donk just hungry for something. And as the op stays trained on his peak, doesn't matter at all. Madden not fast enough on the trigger to stop the Donk, who is about to reclaim, at the very least, an even score. Team Spirit.
That was the first Donk-like moment of the day. We'll say that. That's him swinging an off when he absolutely doesn't need to and still winning. So
feels like he's getting his legs back beneath him.
And it is important that you know, a player like that just kind of keeps trying to get back to a form from a better day and believing that they can still win duels versus everyone. They kind of have to protect his confidence at all costs, because we know with playstyles like he has, they're very fickle. You know, you have players like Kinder.
I think you'll be relieved that the kid's back online. Faster one. By the looks of things, we got Donk on the hard entry, but he gets shut down.
Yeah.
Dupree's had his number a couple of times, and Magic's done for. Not able to do much as he's burning on the pillar. So Team Spirit maybe getting a little bit ahead of themselves with a more aggressive stance, thinking maybe this momentum could just boil over to a 12th round win. Dupree's got other ideas.
Yeah, that's really nice from Dupree. Like, just found the perfect position to just get the clip off before he starts scaling too fast. You could definitely see a lot of Tier 1 teams trying to adjust to basically just his entry pattern, because he was always taking first kills and just being like, okay, well, here's his bag of tricks when it comes to like T entries on Mirage or T entries on Anubis. Let's just find the gap where he's looking at something and not covering something else. Because as an entry, there's always an angle you're exposed to. Oh, wait a second. This round is still live, actually. 40 seconds and they lose their Dark player. This is all of their defense in the front side of the site.
Sh1ro's got the bomb, though, so they confirmed it on Canal.
They also have a split going on, and Sh1ro's got one flash in 30 seconds.
Chopper trying to get in. We get this pretty fast Canal flank.
This lets Sh1ro get out. The fact that Sun Pius threw this nade.
Oh, but he's getting flanked. He turns around to check it. Collateral!
What?
Sh1ro!
They can actually make it.
Reopens A. He's got the bomb. He's gone.
Chase him. They gotta chase him into dark.
Oh.
They miss the timing. They think he's going to op it. He can actually get a plant off. Sh1ro looking for an ace on this round.
Yes, sir. 2 bullets deep, 3 kills to his name, and a bomb plant safe behind Cake. It's a jump over top. Oh, he gets jumped on. Sun Pius wastes no time.
They're in the thick of it now. Spirit touching on match point. That actually was quite expensive to lose that collateral. Slower crawl this time towards B.
Oh, snap. But
they're going for it too.
Madden's in a position to recover. Oh, Chopper, great read, but there's another. Same spot. Dupree in the same corner. Not able to post the double kill. Now suddenly, with an explosive entry, Magisk attempting to keep them honest inside of the bomb site. It's a 2v4 between Magisk and Snappy. Went side by side with Dupree yesterday. Magisk pulled off the 2v5, but
those nades.
This one feels like a bit too much to ask for.
Oh, those nades got Sh1ro down to 10 health.
Oof, and Donk decides he's not going to let them think about even following through. Sh1ro, the Immortal, hanging on and closing it out as well. Sticks around to give Donk that support.
Win. It's like a 5-round gap, but when you watch the first half, you'd say, well, they actually really did have Spirit on the back foot. Lots of, you know, important kills, good calls, great trades. but that's literally it. No CT side to speak of so far.
What a testament, though, to Sh1ro's importance on this team. We talked about how he doesn't have to get into the action all the time, but we get this anomaly of a Donk underperformance, and Sh1ro goes world class. Long enough for Donk to then start to get into the action. Multiple rounds on this T side. He's done what he does best. He is going to end this map positively in a KD spread if they just finish off what's remaining here. The three players of dupreeh, Madden, and Sunpius all split up a portion of the map apiece. And a Spirit that took an uppercut to the chin, stood back up, dust themselves off, and still walk away with a whooping over Falcons. Reaching for that M4, but Spirit, I think, doing a good job of covering their tracks. Even at this point, Falcons, 45 seconds, left guessing where the hell this commitment's coming in from. Zontic's doing a good job of always just ruffling feathers on the other half of the map. It's going to keep Sunpius committed. Seems as though they've left, but Zontic's still tucked into the side. Sunpius could fall victim to this. Oh, no, mistake. Zontic's goes running away, back turned, and maybe dupreeh can go God mode.
Let's get eyes on Donk, man.
Sunpius clips Chopper. That's great. He's taken two players down off of the flank. Sh1ro will find Madden. dupreeh has still gone unnoticed. He slides out, bests Magics, but now Sh1ro with the op in hand, and Donk from Dark gets what he needs. Another one over dupreeh. Sunpius' 2 kills from the flank made this feel winnable, but success on all fronts elsewhere from Team Spirit. Still possible. Sunpius pulls off the 46 HP 1v2. Sh1ro, though, he's got that scope up on the cross. It's a gap on the pillar. Not ideal for Sunpius, and he will not get past that scope. Sh1ro with an